Lakers and Clippers are both looking to get back to the playoffs after the Lakers were outside of the top 10 in the West. And the Clippers could not make it past the play-in game last season. The Clippers and Lakers are back-to-back with the 5th and 6th best odds to win the 2023 NBA Finals. Perk, I'm going to ask you this question to start off. Are the Lakers in danger of becoming the little brother in LA?
You know what? You know what, Christine? Let me say this. I get it. The Lakers are one of the most historical franchises in sports history. When you talk about hanging banners, they got plenty of them, and I mean plenty of them, a lot of them. I get all that. But when we're talking about the now and we're looking into the future, they are in danger. Matter of fact, starting this season, when you look at the Los Angeles Clippers and you look at what they got, they arguably have the deepest team in the NBA, most versatile team in the NBA, and they have the most wings in any other team in the league, which is the most important position in the NBA. So let's go look at their roster. Kawhi Leonard, he's signed for the next 3 or 4 years. Paul George, he's signed for the next 3 or 4 years. There go your Batman and Robin. Look at the additions. You have John Wall and Reggie Jackson that's going to be competing for the point guard spot. So they're set there. You have Nicholas Batum, who's the ultimate 3-and-D guy. Robert Covington, another 3-and-D guy that can switch multiple positions if they decide to go small. And then you have a guy in Norman Powell who could come in off the bench or whether he's starting and give you 20 plus on any given night. And then you sign Big Zubac back. On top of that, you have one of the best coaches in the game in Tyronn Lue. So we're not talking about the history, okay, Keyshawn? We're talking about the now. And when you look at the now, a healthy Clippers team is better than the Lakers right now. I don't know if the Lakers improve that drastically unless they get Kyrie Irving, and I still don't put them ahead of the Los Angeles Clippers. So when I look at the now, not the past, not the history, the now, yes, the Lakers are in danger of being the little bros, the little knuckleheads to the Los Angeles Clippers.
I got to chuckle, though, Big Perk, because you made reference to the history at least 5-6 times just now. I'm not even thinking about the history. We already know what that is. They rent in our building. So we understand what that is. In terms of being the little brother, that'll never happen here in L.A. It'll just never happen, no matter what. We've opened the door to the Los Angeles Clippers many times over. You remember Lob City? You remember that? You remember all those Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Pauls? Remember that? Oh, they got Doc Rivers, great coach, the whole thing. What happened? What happened? Nothing, right? I'm just asking. Kawhi Leonard did never entertain going to L.A. and packaging up with LeBron James. No, he gonna do it with Paul George. Oh, okay. All right. Well, what happened? We got our championship in the bubble, whatever you want to call it. Championship is a championship. I understand the excitement about the Clippers. And I ran into somebody that know more basketball than me and you times 20 put together. That is very, very important to the Clippers organization the other night, Big Perk. And we were just having a conversation at dinner. I ain't going to mention his name.
Who is that?
I ain't going to mention his name.
I ain't
going to do you like that. I ain't going to do you like that.
No, because when you say somebody that knows basketball that much more than me, I need to know who the hell you talking about.
No, I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to do that to him. But look, check this out anyway. He told me that the Clippers were a better team than the Lakers. And then I said, yeah, you're probably right. They are a better team right now. And what I would say is, if we get Kyrie Irving, I don't know that to be the case. I don't know that to be the case if we land Kyrie. I know that we got to keep AD healthy, and I know AD is a you-know-what on the court when he's healthy, and LeBron James is LeBron James. So I'm not ready to concede the Clippers coming out of the West this 2023 season before the Lakers if we land Kyrie Irving. I'm not ready to concede that. I'm sorry. No matter what the future looks like, Perk, they're never going to be little brother. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because you have to factor in history when you start talking about little brother and big brother. You got to factor in history.
No, listen. See, we're talking about the now again. We're not talking about the past. When we talk about historical franchises, we already know when it comes down to basketball, it's
but
the
you gotta
Lakers.
Factor it in. You got to factor it in.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes,
you don't
you
have
do.
to factor it in. You only
How many times we done opened up this door for these Clipper teams? Perk, you was in the NBA when we opened up the door for them.
Well, guess what? You don't have to open up the door too much longer because they got their own arena being built right there in Inglewood. They got new ownership in Steve Ballmer, who's willing to spend.
I've been hearing this my whole life.
Hold on. That's you. See, I never was a believer in Lob City. You know what I'm saying? I never was a believer in those Clipper days with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. I never was a believer in that. But what I'm telling you right now, when you look at a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who's when healthy, you could arguably put him in a conversation as being a top 5 player in the NBA when healthy. He has shown us that time and time again. He also has shown us that he's capable of leading a team to winning a championship, 2-time final MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And then when I look at a guy like Paul George, who has found his mojo, who has found his swagger.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.